Call the meeting to order. First order of business is roll call.
Andy Bacon, absent. Olin Gambrell,
Here.
Eric Curtin,
Here.
Thomas Silvera,
Here.
James Miller,
Here.
Thomas Heaney, here. David Hontoon, absent. Chris Souza, absent.
Okay, second order of business is an adoption of the minutes from last meeting. They're in your packet. If there's nobody that has any issue with them, if we can have a motion to accept the minutes.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Second order of business, which isn't on the agenda, is just a vote to accept the minutes. I'm sorry, the meeting dates for next year. You should have gotten those in your packet. We can always amend them as we go forward, but I quickly went down them. The only one that I wanted to look at was the November 23rd, but I think that's fine with Thanksgiving. So I think if I can have a motion to accept these.
Make a motion to accept the dates for 2021.
Do we have a second? I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Next order of business is going to be the continued and withdrawn cases. For this, we're only going to read the petitioner and the address. And if there's two petitions, a variance and a special use, we'll just note that. So Mr. Heaney, if you could read the first one into the record.
Atlantic Beach Suites 2, limited liability, owner by their attorney David P. Martland Esquire, 42 through 45 and 56 Wave Avenue.
Is Mr. Martland on the?
And no, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Martland is not
I have a
in
note in the file
attendance.
that he's requested that we continue it to the January meeting. So we're going to continue that over to January 26th.
James L. Paradise, owner by his attorney Gerard A. Galvin Esquire. And this is at 170 Aquidneck Avenue, and this is for a variance and a special use.
Is Mr. Galvin on the line?
No, Mr. Chairman, he is not on the line.
We have a letter in the file again requesting a continuance to 126. So I'm going to go ahead and carry this over to the 26th of 2021.
Petition of Newport National Real Estate Limited Liability owners by their attorney Robert M. Silva Esquire, 425 Mitchell's Lane.
Is Mr. Silva on the line?
Mr. Silva is in attendance.
Can you
Mr. Silva,
hear
would
me,
you like to
Mr.
speak
Chairman?
on it?
He's on.
I'm on the line. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. The petition of Newport National Real Estate LLC can be continued with the permission of the board to the 26th January hearing in 2021.
Okay, we've got that down, Mr. Silva. Thank you.
Thank you.
Petition of J.R. Gullison and Bonnie F. Zimble, owners by their attorney Jeremiah C. Lynch III at 59 Aquidneck Avenue, and this is for both a variance and a special use.
Is Mr. Lynch on the line?
No, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Lynch is not on the line.
I have a note in the file that the amended petition was received and it's going to be re-advertised for January. So we're going to continue this over to the January 26th, 2021 date. And that follows the same discussion we had with Mr. Lynch last month.
Petition of Sens Corporation, owner in GD Middletown, West Main, 1 limited liability company applicant at 0 West Main Road, and this is for both a variance and a special use.
Again, that's with the Conservation Commission right now. Mr. Lynch is also representing them. And there's a note in the file asking that we continue this until the 26th. So we're going to go ahead and continue this to the 26th of January.
Petition of John and Pamela Wallace, owners, by their attorneys Chappelle and Chappelle at 819 Aquidneck Avenue.
They're waiting on, I have a note in the file that they're waiting on the technical review committee, and they're not
Mr.
online, right?
Mr. Chappelle is available this evening?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. That's correct. We're still waiting on the technical review. The only holdup, again, similar to last month, is the landscape architect. We did end up having to hire a new one, so there's a little bit of a holdup there, but we're told that we should have those plans finalized by next week. So whatever the next regularly scheduled meeting is here, we should be ready to go.
Okay, Mr. Chappelle, we're going to do that on the 26th of January.
Great.
Thank you for your time.
And
Thank
for
you
the
very much.
record, this is Matt Chappelle speaking, is that correct?
That's correct.
Petition of Stephen Faria and Barbara Walton Faria, owners, by their attorney Robert M. Silva, Esquire, and this is at 595 Aquidneck Avenue and 39 Newman Road.
Mr. Silva, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. I have conferred with the town solicitor, Mr. Regan, and I would think that it's necessary for me to rethink this application. So we haven't had a hearing on it, and to give me an opportunity to do so, I would simply request the board grant me permission to withdraw the petition in its present form without prejudice.
Okay, Mr. Silva, we'll take a vote on that right now. Can I have a motion to withdraw the petition without prejudice?
I'll make a motion to withdraw without prejudice.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Silva, consider it withdrawn.
Thank you.
Petition of Newport County Regional YMCA owner by their attorney Robert M. Silva, Esquire, and this is at 792 Valley Road, and there's both a special use permit and a variance.
Mr. Silva, are you still available?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, on both of these petitions, one for a special use permit and the other for a variance relief for the YMCA and 127 John Clark Road LLC in the second instance. I would simply ask that this matter be put over to the 26th of January 2021. We are not finished with the impact development review before the planning board. And we're scheduled to be before the planning board the first week of January. So hopefully we'll have a decision by then and can be heard by this board on the 26th of January 2021.
Okay, very good, Mr. Silva. We're going to continue that per your request to the 26th of January, 2021.
Thank you.
Petition of Nicholas Pasanos, owner on 2 Tony Lynn Terrace.
Is Mr. Passat?
Mr. Passianos is on the line.
Yes, I'm here. I'd like to request a continuance to amend my petition from a 2-family to an auxiliary unit. I had spoken to Celeste about it. She said it could be heard in January.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue this over to the 26th
Yep.
of January. Does this have to get re-advertised?
Yes, the amended petition would have to be re-advertised.
Okay, so we'll need the amended petition and we're going to re-advertise it for the 26th. Nick,
Great, thank you.
you're welcome. That brings us to our next order of business, which is a reconsideration of the Brogan petition from last month. Mr. Heaney, if you could read the entire piece into the record.
Corrected petition of Glenn P. Brogan, owner, for a variance from sections 603, 701, and 802B to demolish the existing structure and construct a 2,378 square foot single-family dwelling with a left side yard setback of 8 feet 1 inch and a right side yard setback of 8 feet where 15 is required. Said real estate is located at 75 Tuckerman Avenue and further identified as Lot 114 on Tax Assessor's Plat 116 Northeast.
Mr. Silva, are you still available?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. I have asked the solicitor to consider with me the propriety of requesting this board to reconsider its decision of at its last meeting where the petition of Mr. Brogan was denied on a 3-2 vote. Was having difficulty with the Zoom media to interpose a suggestion that we would like to have it reconsidered and we would like to revise the plans to do so based on the comments made by zoning board members to the extent I could hear them. I was unable to ask for a continuance to do that last time and the vote was taken. So in speaking with the solicitor, the protocol that remains for me is to ask one of the members who voted against the petition to make a motion to reconsider. And if that motion passes, the denial just goes away. But then I would ask that the matter in its entirety be continued to the 26th of January of 2021. And I would be speaking with Mr. Brogan about reconsidering the format and the plans that he submitted in the first instance.
Okay, Mr. Silva, let me find out if they're interested in doing that. Do either of you want to make? Tom Silver made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Eric Curtin, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Silva, would you like to continue this matter to the next meeting?
Yes, to the 26th of January of 2021.
Okay,
Please.
we'll see you on the 26th, Mr. Silva. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your consideration. Muchly appreciated.
Yes. It will be.
I just interject that Mr. Silva needs to speak to the microphone. He's not really audible.
Make sure that it's going to get re-advertised. That's all that petition. And I just wanted to
It
put
will
that
be
on the,
re-advertised if an
That's all.
amended petition or revised plans are submitted.
okay. I just wanted to put that on the record. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Silver.
Thank you.
That brings us to our full hearings.
Petition of Caroline McNamara and James Kroger, owners, for a variance from sections 603, 701, and 803G to demolish the existing 60 square foot deck and construct a 342 square foot deck with a side yard setback of 3 feet 7 inches where 15 feet is required. Said real estate is located at 9 Stockton Drive and further identified as Lot 235 on Tax Assessor's Plat 108 Northwest.
Ms. McNamara, Ms. Brogan, are you on the phone?
Yes,
We are.
Can you raise your right hands for me, please? Do you swear the testimony this evening will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
yes.
I do.
State your name and address for the record.
Caroline McNamara, 9 Stockton Drive, Middletown, Rhode Island, 02842.
James Kroger, 9 Stockton Drive, Middletown, Rhode Island, 02842.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your petition, please?
We would like to demolish the small side deck that we currently have and extend it back around the corner of the house and construct a new, larger deck.
Okay, and you're here because it's going to be in the setback, correct?
Correct.
Now, one question I had for you, in your document, it says that you're demolishing, are you demolishing an existing deck and then rebuilding?
Correct.
Or-
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you discussed this with your neighbors?
We have. Everyone next to us is fine with it.
Okay. I did look at the property and noticed that with those pie-shaped lots, it'd be, no matter what you did on the deck, it would be hard not to be in the setbacks.
We agree.
I think it's a pretty straightforward petition. Does anyone here have any questions for the petitioner?
Well, the existing deck that's there now, that's 6 by 12, that's gonna be demolished.
It's 5 by 12 now, I believe. And it's going to be demolished, but built back.
But built back, so it will connect around the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you're doing the wider deck so you have egress back to that back deck?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought when I looked at the plans and I looked at the aerial pictures. But I just wanted to be sure of that. If nobody else on the board has any questions, I'm going to open it up to the public for public comment. Are there any hands raised?
No, Mr. Chair.
Seeing that there's nobody on the line that wants to discuss this, I'm going to close the public hearing and ask for a motion to accept the petition as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Tom Silvera made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Olin Gambrell seconded. Discussion?
I'm going to vote in favor of that.
I believe it's reasonably necessary for the full enjoyment of a permitted use.
I also agree with my colleague with the way the lot is laid out for the full enjoyment of the property. I'm going to vote in favor of it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Petition of Fleming Homes Limited Liability Company owner and Chris and Tammy Holden applicants for a variance from sections 603 and 701 to construct a 780 square foot rear dormer with a side yard setback of 12 feet 1 inch where 15 feet is required, to enlarge the front dormers with a front yard setback of 21 feet 4 inches where 25 feet is required, and a side yard setback of 13 feet 1 inch where 15 feet is required to construct a 27 square foot front entry roof with a 17 foot 4 inch front yard setback where 25 feet is required. Said real estate is located at 158 Briarwood Avenue and further identified as Lot 304A on Tax Assessor's Plat 115 Southeast.
Mr. and Mrs. Holden, are you on the phone?
Yes,
Can you raise your right hands for us?
yes,
Do you swear the testimony this evening will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
yes.
State your name and address for the record.
Tammy Holden, 62 Tuckerman Avenue, Middletown.
Chris Holden, 62 Tuckerman Ave, Middletown, Rhode Island.
Okay. Tell us about your project.
Okay, I purchased the home. It's on 158 Briarwood, and currently there is a cape on the property. It is a non-conforming lot, and the house itself is non-conforming. And the setback to the existing property, the house is 10 feet off of one side, and the front setback is 21.4 inches. And I'm applying for a variance to put on a back dormer right above the existing foundation and to enlarge the two front partial dormers and put a shed dormer between the two, also right above the foundation that already exists. But because it's non-conforming, I'm here for a variance.
Right, I think the issue is that it's in the setback, so
The current home is within the setbacks, yes.
So you live at 62 Tuckerman Avenue. Is this a rental property that you own?
It's a property that I purchased that I will be renovating and selling.
And your lot size is going to increase, but only minimally, correct?
The lot size,
Lot coverage, I'm sorry.
the lot coverage, it will increase. We are putting a mudroom on one side that is within the allowed area. And the dormers are directly above the existing, are on the house, and the house is 23 feet tall.
Right. So really, the only real thing that's penetrating into the setback is that covered entry on the right-hand side of the house. Because
That-
everything else is within the existing envelope, correct?
Yeah, the covered entry is new to the lot coverage, but that covered entry is a 6 by 13, 78-foot mudroom that is within the buildable area
Yeah,
within
no,
the,
I understand that completely.
yeah. But
Have
that,
you
would
had any discussions with the neighbors on either side? We have a
absolutely,
letter in the file from one.
which is, if you look on the site plan, the neighbor to the left, Mr. Marshall, he has been spoken to, he has shown the plans, and he has signed that he is not opposed to this at all. We have spoken to Gail and Joe to the other side and shown them the plans, and then front and back of the home are 2 renters.
Okay, I think, let me see if anyone else on the board has any questions for you.
Sure.
Does anyone on the board have any questions for the petitioner? No, let me see if anyone in the audience would like to discuss it and have questions. Is there anyone on the Zoom call that would like to discuss this project, either for or against it?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and ask for a motion to accept the petition as presented.
I'll make a motion to accept it as presented.
Eric Curtin made the first. Do I have a second? Tom Silvera made a second. Discussion?
Well, I'm gonna vote in favor. I believe the relief is necessary now. They're approaching somewhat on the boundary, but not agree. Further on the setback. They're not approaching. Just the entry area is encroaching. A new.
I hate to do it again, Mr. Silvera, but
Yes. I, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to vote in favor, but I believe the relief is reasonably necessary for the full enjoyment of a permitted use. And I also think that only the entry stairway is encroaching, a new encroachment into the setbacks.
Yeah, I too am going to support it for the same reasons. I looked at the site and realized pretty quickly that it's a very minimal addition. There's not going to be a negative impact from adding the dormers to the existing structure. And then the side yard is very minimal. It's inches that go into the setback. So I too am going to support the petition. If there's no other discussion, I'm going to ask for a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Petition of Janice Johnston, owner, for a variance from sections 603 and 701 to construct an 18-foot by 22-foot rear addition with a rear yard setback of 24 feet 6 inches where 30 feet is required, resulting in an increase in lot coverage to 25.3% where 25% is allowed. Said real estate is located at 23 Willow Avenue and further identified as Lot 315 on Tax Assessor's Plat 108 Northwest.
Ms. Johnson, are you here?
Yeah.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes.
Do you swear the testimony this evening will be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name and address for the record.
Janice L. Johnston, 23 Willow Avenue, Middletown, Rhode Island.
Tell us what you'd like to do with your property, Ms. Johnson.
I want to add a room onto the back for a dining room. The kitchen is very small.
Okay. And, you know, it's very, when I looked at it, it's very minimal release that you're asking. Have you had any discussion with your neighbors?
Yes,
regarding- And what was their response?
they had no problem.
Okay, any questions for Ms. Johnson? You know, I was gonna just ask why it's at 0.3 of a percentage over, but it's very minimal, Ms. Johnson. So seeing that there's no questions from the board, I'm gonna ask the public if there's anyone that would like to comment. Is there anyone on the Zoom call tonight that would like to either speak for or against the petition?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Seeing none, I'm gonna close the public hearing and ask for a motion to accept the petition.
I'll make the motion to grant the petition.
Tom Savora made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Eric Curtin seconded. Discussion?
I'm going to vote in favor of it. I believe the relief is very minimal and it's not a detriment to the area.
I too am going to support it for the same reason. I think it's important that we allow changes like this. We have some houses that are very, very small and they were constructed at a time when they were very limited in space, and what they're asking for is very minimal. So I too am going to support it. I think it's the least relief necessary for the enjoyment of their property. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
One second first. Just for this evening's session, the voting members were Olin Gambrell, Eric Curtin, Thomas Silveria, James Miller, and Thomas Heaney.
Thank you, Mr. Heaney. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Tom Silveria made the motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Mr. Gambrell, second. All those in favor?